Morning folks, hope you're all well. Just thought I'd record this again, a bit more information for people who've never used EVs before, but today's the day we're going to do our first proper holiday in the EV. In this particular case we're going down to Bournemouth, which will be the largest journey that we've ever done. We'll also, throughout the journey, we're going to be heading over to the Isle of Wight on a ferry, so we're going to have to find charging on an island, and I thought I'd just document this along the way and just see how we get on. Now there's no way on earth we'll get to the Isle of Wight on one charge, so I've highlighted a clutch of chargers on the A34 near Oxford. I've got a few options down there where we could charge, and we'll see how those go, see if they're working okay. I think I'm probably going to head for some Instavolt chargers because there's 4 of them. Might be a bit expensive, but I think they're going to be worth it for the convenience, and hopefully if there's 4 we won't have to hang around very long. So car's got 196 miles of charge in it. I'll keep a record of how far we go and what mileage we get, and I'll report back later. Speak to you soon. I'm back for a little bit of an update. So we're now in Abingdon at the Fair Acres retail park, and what we've got here are 4 Instavolt chargers. I've picked this place because there's actually 4 chargers and there was more chance of it not being blocked with somebody who's already charging. A little bit more expensive I think than some of the BP Pulse ones or BB Chargemaster ones that were en route, but I think it's worth it probably for the convenience just for this journey. So just about to start to charge, and then I'm going to have a little wander around the retail park, just kill half an hour while I'm topping the car up, going to have a toilet break and a cup of coffee. So speak to you in a bit. Okay, so this is exactly how it should be. I literally just pulled up, plugged in, contactless with my watch, and instantly sort of up to 50 kilowatts charging, so perfect. Won't be here long, and then we can carry on down the rest of the journey. Okay, so 172 miles later, and we've still got 70 odd miles in the car. We've had one stop for about half an hour just for a quick toilet break, coffee and a sausage sandwich, and we're on the outskirts of Bournemouth. Actually stopped at a BP Chargemaster charger just outside Bournemouth, and it will be the first time we've used the BP Pulse membership, but compulsory complimentary membership for 3 months just to give it a trial, and this charges 15p kilowatt hour compared to 40p for the one we charged earlier, so this should really top the car up really cheaply. Currently at 47%, and if we just wander around, have a quick look at the dash, we'll be able to see where we're at. So the plan is basically to stay here. I've got a bit of a picnic, so I'm going to have a spot of lunch and a drink, and that should give us a top up that will keep us tootling around for the first phase of the holiday. So yeah, really good experience so far with both sets of chargers, and thanks to the lady who was on the Nissan Leaf here a few minutes ago. She was at 84% and she said nah, she's not unplugged, she said you jump on, so thank her for that. And I've got to admit, I do quite like the good nature of all these EV users. I think we all think we're in a bit of a secret club together and look after each other. So anyway, right, off to get my lunch now. Thought I'd just chip in with a bit of progress report on holiday charging. We've been doing pretty well, quite a lot of running around this holiday, and to be honest, the battery's been fantastic. We were less than half charged, but it was still saying we've got over 100 miles of range left, which means we must be driving very efficiently around the area, which is pretty good because that puts it at over 200 miles of range in total. Just to let you know, we're at Bewley Motor Museum today, which seems an appropriate place to bring an electric car. And the good news is, what we've also got is charge points. And what we've been able to do is plug the car in while we've been here. We've had a real good few hours around the museum, and the car's almost full. So no hassle with charging today. Brilliant news. Morning, it's Wednesday, so we've been on the road now since Saturday. We did a charge on the way down, topped up funnily enough here when we got to Bournemouth, and then we got a couple of free charges at Bewley Motor Museum, which was pretty good as well. Anyway, we're on our way to Lymington because we're off to the Isle of Wight, so we're taking the car overseas for the first time. Okay, not abroad, but at least it's over the water. And we thought we ought to charge before we went over, just in case you know, we struggle with chargers over there, although we have identified a few that we can use. And we were going to charge at Lymington. There is actually a charger at the ferry port, but realised that we were actually passing the charger that I used on Saturday when we came into Bournemouth first time, and as we drove past it was free, so I thought rather than risk the one at the ferry port being in use, I thought we'd plug in here instead. Car's just doing really, really well. To be honest, the mileage is bonkers. Because of the type of driving we do, which is reasonably slow and a lot of slowing down and speeding up, sometimes we're actually starting journeys on 1 mileage, and then when we're finishing we've actually got more miles in the car than when we started, which is crazy. I'm pretty sure we're getting in excess of 200 miles range out of it at the moment. So as a result, there isn't a great deal of charge to put back in the car. It was on 67% when we got here, so again we're probably going to stop for about 20 minutes. Got plenty of time to get to the ferry and top it up, and then head over to Lymington, get the boat over. So speak to you again, keep you updated later in the holiday. Right, so we're in the queue now for the Isle of Wight ferry, and we're able to stop and have a cup of tea and charge up to 92%, so we've got 181 miles of range in the car now for the Isle of Wight. That should be more than enough to keep us going until the end of the holiday, and then we just need to charge before we come home. Right, so it's Friday, last full day of our holiday. Don't really want to sort of worry about having to charge in the morning when we're heading home, so we've decided to head to the ferry terminal on the Isle of Wight. Again, we've got another BP Pulse charger. Interestingly, this one you couldn't do guest payment, so I presume the credit card payment was not working. So fortunately we've got the RFID tag because we've sort of set ourselves up as a member. We were down to about 46%, so I mean we've done about 100 miles or so on the island, and the car was only on half charge, so it's done really, really well. I think probably around here probably excess of 200 miles on a charge, which is more than stated, so that's pretty good news. But anyway, we're going to stop here, have some lunch, and then finish our little tour of the island, but we'll have plenty of charge then to get us a good way home in the morning. Right, there was somebody waiting at the other charger, the other BP charger, so I only topped up to 80%, just out of courtesy because I knew it was going to slow down. Anyway, we've just arrived at Ryde, and on the sat-nav we spotted, in fact, tell you what, could you just point at the sat-nav there, and we certainly spotted a charger right at the end of the pier, and it was just too good an opportunity to miss, really. So we're currently driving down the pier at Ryde, see if we can find this charger, and if we can, we'll plug in and finish the job off if nobody's waiting. So yeah, thought you'd find this one quite amusing, somewhere a bit different. Well, that was too good an opportunity to miss, to be honest. When we saw that on the sat-nav, we thought we've got to go and take a look, and sure enough, it's another BP Chargemaster. To be honest, they've been faultless on this trip, and in this particular one we had to use our own cable. It's only a slow 7 kilowatt charger, but that'll be good to top us up a little bit more, ready for coming home, because I really didn't want to hog the 50 kilowatt charger when we were already on 80%. So what's quite nice, we're here on the end of the pier, and a bit of a charge with a bit of a difference, so thought that would be a bit of fun. Well, we're on our way home, and final day of the holiday, and this really is our last charge before we go home. We're at Didcot, and we've got a couple of BP Pulse chargers here. These are 175 kilowatt ones, so really fast ones. We can only take 100 kilowatts in the car, but it should mean that we can get charged very, very quickly. So we're going to go and find a bit of grass, have a picnic, have our lunch, and by the time we've done that, we should be ready to finish our journey home. When I get back, I'll do a little bit of a recap as to how many miles we've done and how much it's cost us to charge, but hang on for that, and we'll speak to you soon. One last thing, just thought I'd share this with you. This is the charger, as you can see, 175 kilowatt CCS, and you can probably see 20 minutes. We've gone from 38% to 80% in 20 minutes, so really happy with that. So I'm going to disconnect, head home. Well, we managed to get home, and just having a quick look at the numbers. Basically, we've done 606 miles this week. Of quite a varied driving. We've done motorways, we've done dual carriageways, we've been tootling around seaside resorts, been over to an island, all sorts of different stuff. So I think if anything's going to give us a good test of public charging with an EV, then I think this trip's done so. So what I'll do a bit later, I'll get back in the house and I'll get some of the data on charging costs and stuff like that, and we'll review that and see what the outcome is. Okay, so we're back at home, all settled in, and had a chance to have a look at the charge data that we've got. So the first charge was quite expensive. That come to £7.40. That was because we used InstaVolt, and basically the convenience of having 4 chargers to choose from. But basically from that point onwards, we ended up using BP Pulse, and that worked out really cheaply. Basically what we did is we made ourselves members of the BP Pulse, which gives us the option of getting an RFID tag, and that was worth its weight in gold. We could have used the app and just sort of kicked off the charging through the app, but actually having the RFID tag made life really easy. Okay, you have to pay £7 a month for it. Currently we're getting it for free because you get a 3 month trial, but that's great. Anyway, that came to £15.84 if you add up all of the charges that we did with BP Pulse. None of them loosed us down. If we'd had to have paid for it, there was a couple we couldn't have used. One didn't accept guest payments, and the one that we did at Bewley Motor Museum was completely free. Again, that couldn't take payments, you just had to be a member. But other than that, so in total it come to £23.24 for charges, and that was to do 600 miles. So we're really chuffed with that. We've had no trouble finding chargers. Yes, you have to plan a little bit. We use picnics a lot to just, you know, not have to hang around. We just used them as part of our normal day routine, and it was really easy. So yeah, to be honest, I don't think there's a problem with charging. So there you go, that's how to go on holiday with an EV. Hope you found it useful, and if you're going on holiday with yours this year, have a great time. Thank you.